Just like in February, when the motherfucking resistance smashed shit up in Vancouver, the detractors came out in droves.
There have been very, very serious allegations, or indeed proof, of police infiltration and use of agent provocateur.
This time we were well prepared for the backlash from liberals and lefties, but the backlash became less about why Smashy Smash is bad and sounded more like a dumb motherfucking Alex Jones conspiracy theory.
I don't know why the police didn't stop them. I saw them go. They were really easy to stop. When they started to torch that car, there were riot police all around. They just sat and watched them do it. Now, I want to know why they didn't stop them.
So your advice or your question is you thought the police should have stopped them right then and there instead of...
Yeah, right at the beginning.
That was Champagne liberal Judy Rebick. Just like the police in the last segment, she is a relic of the past. The idea that Rebick is pushing on young impressionable minds is the same load of horseshit that the mainstream media and the stupid motherfucking Alex Jones sheeple have been spreading in the internet. That cops let it happen. But even smart peeps like Naomi Klein drank the TO50 false flag dingleberry Kool-Aid.
And so what happened is that the bosses of this police force and other police forces decided to play public relations. And instead of doing their jobs, they let the city burn. They let those cop cars burn.
Such a defeatist attitude is pretty fucking sad. Now, I am not suggesting that we dismiss Klein altogether. Her analysis of corporate rule is an important part of our movement, but it would be wrong not to call her out on her blunder. For those of us who were there, what we saw was cops running scared and losing control of the situation every step of the way. The mass arrest of peaceful demonstrations that followed for the next 24 hours was a way for the pigs to save face. We don't have to look back far to see that this has happened time and time again. The police don't know how to react to a decentralized fluid force of mass skinny anarchists. It happened in Seattle, and it happened in St. Paul during the RNC.
Well, during the RNC, police had two dispatch centers, literally 20 feet apart. One for the convention, the other for the rest of the city. But for 2 crucial hours, there was a breakdown in communication between them, and no one was seeing the big picture.
Our street! Our street! Go back right now!
It's the sound of St. Paul police losing control of their city.
They might be smashing out windows in here.
Police dispatch tapes from day one of the Republican convention show for a couple of hours between noon and 2 o'clock, downtown belonged to the anarchists.
When facing certain defeat, the pigs throw everything they got at the problem without much thought. To help me add the final cherry to my argument, I spoke with Kristian Williams, author of Our Enemies in Blue. Hey Kristian, how the fuck are you?
Oh, I'm fine.
So, can you break down for me why the police react the way that they do when they are punked?
The nature of the authority that's invested in the police is that they are authorized to use violence. And now, it's very telling who they use the violence against. Disproportionately it's men, disproportionately it's young men, disproportionately it's people of color and poor people. That tells us something about who they see it as their job to control. It also tells us something about who they see as legitimate targets for their violence. So, and the equation here is pretty simple. It's that the police tend to direct their resources toward hassling people that aren't likely to cause them trouble. So they tend to be people who don't have the resources to fight back. Now, when people do fight back, especially when that takes the form of physical violence, the reaction of the authorities of violence against the police is hugely exaggerated compared to the reaction of the authorities to violence against other people in society. And this gets sort of explained in terms of sort of police heroism and the cops risking their lives to keep us all safe and that sort of thing. But really it's a very simple need on the part of the state to maintain its monopoly on force. So if other people start using force, especially against the monopoly holder, then the position of the state as the final arbiter with the backing of force is challenged. So it's very important from the perspective of state building to maintain that monopoly.
And that about does it for this edition of It's the End of the World as We Know It and I Feel Fine. My heart goes out to all those brave peeps who challenged the power structure and are now caged in the guts of the system. I also want to thank all of those who supported this motherfucking show during our stay in T-Dot, Toronto Media Co-op, Alternative Media Center, Double G, Dexter, Sean, Courtney, Bella, Harmony, Benjamin, Stephen, Ted, Jason, Audrey, Shannon, Christopher, Gorilla, Michael, Dan, Peter, Jared, and the entire Fraser community. Saperga. To comment on this show or for links to more riot porn, just visit my fucking website, stimulator.tv. Now repeat after me. G8, G20. They few, we many.
Remember, kids, you can podcast high-quality video of this show at submedia.tv.
Ha ha ha!